Hello everybody! Infernape Shinjo here, and welcome to episode 2 of Anime Discussions. I'm recording this right after the first episode, so to give a little background on what this series is going to be, basically a branch off of Let's Talk Anime, where it's smaller bite-sized pieces of a specific anime or concept or whatever, but I expand more on it than I do in Let's Talk Anime. And for this episode, I am going to discuss something that's kind of weird. I'll explain more in detail later. The anime that I'm going to be discussing is Flying Witch. In case you haven't heard the show, which I don't really hear many people talk about the show, so I'll give a little background on it. I don't have any real dates in front of me, but if I would have to guess, I would say it came out within the last 3 or 4 years, roughly. I don't want to give an actual date because I've been wrong before. In Flying Witch, the main character Makoto is, well, an actual witch. And she moves to the country with her cousins, I believe. And there we meet Kei, Shinatsu, and their family. The basic plot of the show, which is established very early on in the show, is that Makoto going to the country is a rite of passage for her before she can perfect her magic or something to that effect. I'm not exactly sure. I know they explain it, but I think I got the general gist of it regardless. From there, it's basically everyday life with magic, meeting all sorts of things like a screaming turnip that pops out of the ground, a cafe invisible to humans where a ghost serves food, and stuff like that. If you haven't seen the show, that probably sounds a bit weird, but after you watch the show, it does kind of make a little sense in the context of the show. Now at this point, you might be wondering, okay, that's great Shinjo, but why are you talking about this show? It sounds interesting, but what's the point? And well, the point is, that is where the intrigue basically stops. Because I think they go almost the whole entire first episode without even showing any magic. I think the only thing that's shown early on is Makoto flying on her broom. But the reason I want to talk about this, and full props and respect to anybody that worked on this show, but after watching this, the show's just there. It's not anything groundbreaking, it's not anything horrible, it's just down the middle. After you get past that initial shock of the magic, it basically loses its charm, and you're just left with a slice of life anime to just relax and watch after a rough day of school or work or anything. But I'm not saying the fact that it's just there is a good thing or a bad thing. Because honestly, I just like watching anime that I just sit back and relax as much as the next guy. I'm actually watching through Non-Non-Biori, and it kind of reminds me of this, where it's just like, you get the gist of the characters' personalities, and you're just sitting back watching them go through their lives while you relax. The reason I wanted to discuss this is a couple of days before I started watching Flying Witch, I saw Isla McTeer tweet out about Flying Witch, and I can't remember exactly how she worded it, but she basically said that it's just a show that's there. And I was interested, so I decided to take a look at it for myself and came to the same conclusion. I guess the main point that I'm trying to get across here is, while Flying Witch isn't too plot driven at all, I mean, the whole plot of the show is Makoto to basically mature in her magic, and we don't even see a payoff at the end. It's just like, oh, her magic is fully evolved and now she can do whatever. We don't even get a payoff like that. It's just a show to just kick back and relax on. Although I feel like a lot of die-hard anime fans that are used to plot-driven shows are going to be upset at a show like this, because 90% of the show is filler. The other 10% is meeting the family and friends. But just like Wakaba Girl in the previous episode, I never found it a chore to watch through Flying Witch. because the characters and their personalities clashing together just made it an enjoyable time. Especially with Chinatsu and the dude that looks like Slender Man. I can't remember what his name is. I think it's like the Reaper of Fall or whatever. I can't remember what the name is. I'm sure I'll edit something in while I'm rendering this. I guess the point that I'm trying to make at the end of the day is not all anime have to have a huge major plot that has to be ongoing or whatever. Some anime just need to fill their purpose of just being a show that you can relax in front of. Now, of course, that's only my opinion, but that is going to do it for this episode. I just really wanted an excuse to talk about Flying Witch, because at the same time, it's a show that didn't really do much for me, but on the other hand, I just couldn't help myself from watching more episodes of it. If you watched the show yourself, let me know what you thought of it down in the comment section, and if you have any other suggestions for this or Let's Talk Anime, leave them down in the comment section, and whichever series I get around to recording first will be the series that it goes on. Until next video, this is Infernape Shinjo, and I'll be in the next episode. Momentai. That was a great ending.